Have you ever wondered where the Luo people came from? Did they simply wake up one morning on the shores of Lake Victoria and say, "Ah yes, this place has excellent fish. We'll stay, yeah"? Well, not exactly. The real story involves epic migrations, kingdoms, rivers, cattle, wars, and enough walking to make your fitness up cry. Today, we are traveling back over 500 years to uncover the fascinating origin of one of Kenya's most influential communities. And don't worry, no history exam at the end, probably. The Luo people belong to a much larger group called Nilotic peoples. Think of Nilots as one giant extended family. You know, that family where every reunion somehow ends with arguments about who has the best cows. The Nilotic people originally lived around what is today known as South Sudan, especially near the White Nile. That's actually where the name Luo came from. The word is linked to the Luo languages spoken by several related communities spread across East Africa. These include the Acholi, Alur, Shiluk, Anuak, Jur Luo, and the Kenyan Luo. They all share historical and linguistic connection, although each developed its own identity over time. So no, the Kenyan Luo didn't just appear out of nowhere. They are part of a much bigger historical family. Historians believe several factors encouraged Luo migrations southward between roughly the 15th and 17th centuries. Some areas experienced population growth, others faced competition over grazing land. Climate changes may also have affected water and pasture. And as every cow knows, no grass equals serious problems. Communities moved gradually, not all at once. This wasn't one giant road trip. It happened over generations. Imagine your great-great-grandparents moving, then their children moving, then their grandchildren moving, until eventually someone says, "Congratulations, Yawa, we have finally arrived." After only 200 years. The migrating Luo traveled through parts of present-day Uganda. Along the way, they interacted with many different communities. Sometimes they traded, sometimes they formed alliances, sometimes, well, history got a little complicated. As groups separated during migration, different Luo-speaking communities emerged. Eventually, one major branch continued toward what is now Western Kenya. Their destination? The rich lands surrounding Lake Victoria. Honestly, if you've walked hundreds of kilometers, a massive freshwater lake full of fish probably looks like winning the lottery. The Luo entered Western Kenya in waves beginning around the 15th century, with additional migrations continuing into the 17th century. Rather than settling one single place immediately, different clans established themselves around the Winam Gulf and nearby areas. These migrations helped form today's Luo subgroups. The newcomers entered communities already living in the region, including various Bantu-speaking peoples. Interactions included trade, cultural exchange, intermarriage, and at times conflict over land and resources. Over time, these relationships shaped the history of Western Kenya. History isn't just about who arrived first. It's about how different communities influenced each other over centuries. Let's address the fish. Yes. The Luo have a strong cultural connection with fishing, but they didn't become expert fishermen overnight. Lake Victoria offered abundant fish alongside fertile land for farming and opportunities for livestock keeping. Fishing became an important economic activity for many Luo communities living close to the lake. Although not every Luo was a fisherman. Some farmed, some kept livestock, some traded, and some probably looked at the lake and said, "I am staying on land, Yawa. Thank you very much." Migration didn't just move people, it moved traditions. The Luo carried with them their language, social structures, and customs. Clans remained central to community organization. Respect for elders played an important role. Music, storytelling, and oral history preserved memories long before books became common. In fact, without oral tradition, many of these stories might have disappeared forever, which is why our grandparents sometimes begin a story with, "Sit down, this will take a while, yeah." And somehow, 3 hours later, you're still on chapter 1. Today, the Luo are one of Kenya's largest ethnic communities. They have contributed enormously to Kenya's politics, education, sports, literature, music, business, and medicine. Their history is not just about migration, it's about adaptation, building communities, preserving culture, and continuing traditions while embracing change. The journey that began centuries ago along the Nile continues today through millions of Luo people living across Kenya and beyond. So, the next time someone asks, where did the Luo come from? You can confidently say, they migrated from Upper Nile region of present-day South Sudan through Uganda in Western Kenya over several centuries, yawa. Then casually add, and yes, it was a very, very long walk. If you enjoyed this historical journey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments which Kenyan community should we explore next. Until then, stay curious and remember, history is basically humanity's longest group chat, only with fewer emojis and a lot of walking.